Welcome to Magician Recaps Explains. Let's start with the story. The movie begins with a cargo ship in the Philippine Sea. The cargo ship captain orders his men to dump barrels containing waste into the ocean. Just then, Jonas Taylor sneaks into the ship, takes pictures of this activity, and he goes to the captain's cabin and also takes pictures of the record book. When a man enters the room, Jonas knocks him down and escaped from the cargo ship into the ocean. Jonas's friends, Mac and Regis, arrive with a plane to help him escape, and once they land, Jonas handed the camera's memory card to Mac. Jonas and Mac go to attend the 10th anniversary of the Oceanic Institute in China. Driscoll welcomes the guests and introduces Juming, director of the Oceanic Institute. Juming introduced Hai Ji the Megalodon. They have learned about the trench where the megalodons live. Using a deep submersible vehicle that the Oceanic Institute has created, they plan on diving deep into the ocean to get to the trench. After the event, Jonas and the whole team watched as Juming dived into Hagi's cage, confidently saying that he had a special bond with the megalodon. The first time he calls for Hagi, the megalodon was calm, but the same can't be said for the second time, as Hagi attempted to eat him. Fortunately for Juming, he was able to leave the water before the megalodon could get him. The team then heads to a marine research center called Mana 1 to prepare for their dive into the trench. Unknowing to them, Hagi, who was left unguarded in its cage, managed to escape through the institute and follow the team to Mana 1. After their preparation, two deep-sea vehicles called Dive 1 and Dive 2 went into the ocean. Mac didn't go with the team and stayed behind to lead the team assisting the divers. Jonas was seriously talking with the team about a problem and realized that the problem was actually Mei Ying, who sneaked into the submerged vehicle. Jonas reprimanded the 14-year-old girl, wanting to bring Mei Ying back to Mana 1 as she didn't have a dive suit. But Mei Ying confidently showed the dive suit she had secretly packed while the team was having their pre-dive meeting, outsmarting Jonas. The alarm was set off as they detected a megalodon coming from the shore. They were shocked when they discovered that it was actually Hagi that had escaped its containment area. The megalodon chases them as they go deeper to escape from the Meg. The subs go past the thermocline layer, but Hagi followed them, and Juming had to use a device to distract it, effectively making the Meg leave for a while. Before we get on with it, like the video, smash that subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell to join our magical movie family. It is actually the Meg mating season. Along with the Megs is the apex predator itself, the biggest megalodon anyone has ever seen. The team watched in both awe and fear as the apex predator passes by. Instead of going back to the surface, the team decides to follow the megalodons into an unknown sector of the ocean. They keep on following the Megs deeper into the trench when the subs detected a structure. There they come across a large underwater station where they detected another submarine. They decided to take a closer look and approached the station. Inside the submarine was a guy named Montes. He and his team were illegally mining underwater for any valuable rare earth minerals. When Monty saw the submarines approaching, he set off a massive explosion to prevent the research team from finding out about their illegal activities, and this massive explosion ripped the thermocline layer and caused a catastrophic landslide in the trench, tapping the subs and sending the Megs into panic due to the landslide. The subs are damaged, and Mac lost connection to the divers. He decides to send a rescue sub to look for the team underwater, but they discover that someone had sabotaged the sub in Dive 1. Regis manages to fix the communications, and DJ tells Mac that they got a signal to the sub. Mac informs Jonas about the sabotage sub and the lost Dive 2. Hearing this, Jonas decided to wear the advanced suit the Oceanic Institute has made and walk to the underwater station. Dive 1 team leave the sub and start walking the trench to look for Dive 2. Jonas walks ahead and was alarmed when someone held him from behind. He turns with his guns raised and realizes it was Juming with the rest of the Dive 2 team. They then walk towards the underwater station together. Meanwhile in Mana 1, Mac told DJ and Jess about a mole in Mana 1 that sabotaged the sub to hide the illegal mining activity in the trench. He told DJ and Jess to always watch their backs, and the two agreed before leaving back in the trench. The team continued walking to the station. Juming and Jonas notice a large number of sea creatures swimming toward them at a rapid pace. They ran towards the station, but the creatures were too fast and too many for them to handle. So the creatures dragged one of the pilots of the team, Curtis, which caused her helmet to crack. Seeing that there were too many of the creatures, Juming lit up a flare whose light scared the creatures away but attracted the attention of the Megs rather. They ran towards the station to escape from the Meg, but Sol was already losing oxygen because of her suit. Juming was aiding her to the station, and when Saul saw Meg getting closer behind them, she pushed Juming away and accepted her fate as Meg ate her up. The team reached the station and is able to close the door just in time before Meg got to them. Jonas closed the door, but before the door could fully close, the cracks on Curtis's helmet got bigger until they completely broke, causing the pilot to explode due to the pressure. The remaining team members could only watch in despair as they lost another friend. They take off their suits and explored the station, until they reached a room where they found the minerals the miners had collected. Mei Ying worked on the station's computer and got a signal to Mana 1. Jess receives the signal and she informed the team about the mole and the emergency escape pods, which were on the opposite side of the station. The team moved to the north side and see a closed gate ahead of them. They enter into the room and check the escape pods. The gate suddenly closed on its own, and they learn that Jess is the one who closed it, as Jess admitted she has full control over the station and that she has been the mole all this time. Jess activated one of the pods and told Regis to shoot Jonas in the heart if she still wants Mei Ying to survive. Hearing this, Regis pointed her gun at Jonas, who urged her to do it when he saw that Regis was hesitating. But in the end Regis couldn't do it and Jess let another pod leave the station. Jess then put Driscoll on, so the latter could talk to the team. It turns out that Driscoll was the one leading the illegal mining. In anger, Juming destroyed the TV radio on Driscoll's order. Jess flooded the room. Jonas decided to use the escape pod carrier to get to the area where they came in and do the override. He swims towards the power switch but then notices something in the water. Suddenly, a large creature appeared and Jonas shot it dead. Jonas go to click the switch again but lost consciousness due to a lack of oxygen. When he wakes up, he found himself getting dragged by Montes. Jonas and Montes fight against each other, and when Jonas manages to kick Montes down, he rushes to the server room to open the gate, but was stopped yet again by Montes. Using a light stand, Jonas knocks Montes down and clicked the switch to open the gate. He then go back to the north side, where the others are, and checks them up. Juming ran back to the server room and opened all the lights in the station to distract the Megs, but while running back to the sub, seeing the lights, the Megs started attacking the station, and Juming falls into the water. Regis told Jonas to close the hatch but he refused, and still waited for Juming, who successfully reached the submarine just in time. With the Megs distracted, the team safely piloted the sub out of the trench, and came upon the hole in the thermocline layer. They finally reached Mana 1, and saw that it was now being controlled by Jess and the mercenaries. Meanwhile, Mac and DJ were hiding in a room, after finding out that Jess was a traitor. Jess was outside the room with mercenaries waiting for Mac and DJ to come out. Mac quickly opened the room, and DJ sprayed them with pepper before electrocuting Jess. They escaped from the other mercenaries who started firing at them, and jumped into the water. They climbed back up, and sneaked inside again but got captured by the soldiers. The mercenaries tied them up, and led them somewhere, when suddenly Juming came into the hallway with his hands up, blabbering in Chinese to distract them. Jonas came in from behind the mercenaries, and knocked them down. Regis and Mei Ying were by the port preparing the boat. They saw Megs approaching, and Regis signaled to the others to come, and they hopped on the boat to leave. On the other hand, Jess and Montes, who managed to leave the trench, were in the server room. Jess was on a phone call with Driscoll when the Meg broke through the glass wall and ate her. Montes escaped from the room screaming in anger as he witnessed the death of Jess, his lover. Back to the research team, a Meg circled around them as they calmly rowed the boat, not wanting to trigger the Megalodon. Suddenly, a group of mercenaries followed them on another inflatable boat, aiming to kill Jonas. Meg noticed them and decided to attack them first, and the research team used this as a chance to speed away, while Montes tearfully reported what happened to Driscoll. Jonas and the team approached an island with tourists swimming in the water. They saw Driscoll's helicopter approaching the island, and they hurried warn the tourists to get out of the water, but the tourists didn't listen. It was only when they heard a loud growling sound that they started panicking, and ran into the water instead. The Megs arrived, and were happy to feed on many humans. Meanwhile, Driscoll landed on the island and told Montes to deal with Jonas's team. Suddenly they were attacked by reptiles, and most of the mercenaries got killed. Driscoll cautiously went back inside the helicopter to hide, but one reptile saw her and attacked her. Before dragging to protect Mei Ying, Jonas told the 14-year-old girl to hide in a cottage before he hopped on a jet ski, leaving the island, and getting the Megs to follow him while he dealt with the Megs. Juming and Mac went looking for explosives but got caught by the mercenaries. A while later, Regis, and DJ ran into the room after escaping from the reptile that was chasing them. Seeing the reptiles outside, Juming distracted the mercenaries and poked DJ's stomach, making him back away in surprise, and accidentally hitting the button to lift up the gates. This gave the team the opportunity to escape as the reptiles attacked the mercenaries, who started shooting around in panic, resulting in an explosion. Once they were safely outside, Juming and Mac went to where the helicopter was, while DJ called for help. Juming and Mac reached the helicopter, and Mac successfully flew it, after much struggle due to the reptiles coming at them. A gigantic octopus appeared and started killing the other tourists. The 14-year-old girl was safely hidden inside a lone cottage, but when she saw a lady still on the water, she ignored Jonas's order and saved the lady. Juming saw her and told Mac to lower the helicopter to save Mei Ying, but the octopuses grabbed the helicopter, and Juming grabbed the explosives before jumping. When Jonas saw what was happening on the shore, he went back to protect Mei Ying but was followed by Meg. The Meg attempted to eat him, but chains were stopping it, and Jonas used his feet to keep himself from falling into the Meg's mouth. Besides the giant creatures, Montes was also there to make things a lot harder for Jonas. Montes jumped onto the wooden bridge with his guns ready to kill Jonas, who was hiding beneath the bridge. Jonas stabbed Montes' leg and grabbed the gun from the guy. Montes' blood dripped onto the ocean, its smell attracting Meg. When he saw the Meg approaching, Jonas dropped the gun and kicked Montes, feeding him to the Meg. Meanwhile, Juming was grabbed by the octopus, who took him underwater. Stabbing the octopus's tentacle, Juming swam towards the octopus's body, stabbing it with the jungle bolo with an explosive attached to it. The bomb exploded, but the octopus was still alive as its tentacle wrapped around Juming's leg again. Fortunately, Meg appeared and bit into the octopus's tentacle. Just then, the two sea monsters started attacking each other as they sank deeper into the ocean, and Juming surfaced from the water. He swam towards the fallen helicopter to save Mac, who was trapped inside. Jonas also swam towards the helicopter, grabbing a helicopter wing and calling for the attention of the apex predator itself to prevent it from going to Juming and Mac. The Meg jumped from the water ready to gobble Jonas up, but the latter used the helicopter wing to stab the Meg with it. At the shore, the tourists started running away again when they saw a reptile coming. The reptile attempted to pounce on Mei Ying, but DJ shot it, celebrating when he successfully killed the reptile. Meanwhile, Hegi appeared and went straight to Jonas, Mac, and Juming. Juming went underwater and used his device again effectively, making Hegi leave them alone, as it went after the reptiles instead. They went back to the shore and sat on the sand resting after a big fight as they waited for the rescue team. That is all for this movie recap. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. Also share for us to help us reach more people. What do you think about the movie? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. See you next time.